Hi, Patrick Phillip here at Effective Martial Arts HQ. In this lesson, how to shoot. Alright, so in this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know to lay a solid foundation for your wrestling offense with solo drills. So the basic level change, where you're going to go down over here in a position where you're ready to attack or defend wrestling attacks, as well as the penetration step, where from a low stance over here, wrestling stance, you're going to be able to go in, penetrate, knee to the ground, bring the hips under, where you're in a position here to finish a variety of finishes on takedowns. Now, we're also going to cover some key follow-up movements that you need to know if your shot doesn't go exactly the way you planned. So to find out what those are and exactly how to do them well, make sure you watch this video till the end. Now, if you clicked on this video, you no doubt know the importance of wrestling. So for specifically a mixed martial arts or minimal rules situation. Now, it's important to have strong striking skills because that's usually how fights begin for self-defense or for combat sports, as well as grappling skills as well, because if you do find yourself on the ground, you definitely want to know what to do. But the wrestling range is crucial because it allows you to control the direction of the fight. So if you're a strong offensive wrestler, you can take the fight to the ground on your own terms when you wish to do so. And you also need to know the basic defense so that you can avoid going to the ground if you don't want to be there. Now in this video, we're covering offense. We have separate videos for the sprawl and different ways to fall, so make sure to check those out as well. Now here at our school and on this channel, Effective Martial Arts, we teach one curriculum for striking, wrestling, and grappling. So if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed already, I recommend you do so right now. Now, before we get into the techniques in more detail, let's look at the prerequisites that you need to be able to practice your wrestling offense. Specifically, if you're not able to do so already, you want to be able to squat. Do a perfect squat with very good form. So you want your knees right above your toes, feet slightly wider than the shoulders, and being able to go down, so you need a little bit of flexibility in your hips. Hips, same height as the knees. Most common mistake with the squat is having the back round. So you want to make sure to be able to have a nice straight back, a good posture, and looking up when you squat. So maybe hold this position as well and correct your posture. Oftentimes people, when they begin, if they don't have prior experience, they're going to squat like this and having a round back. You don't want that. Looking down, round back, no good. You can hurt yourself with your wrestling techniques. You want to be able to stick your bum out, chest out, head up, and have a nice straight back when you squat. Squeeze, bring the hips under, squeeze the bum muscles on your way up. Here, basic squat. The other foundational exercise that you need to be able to do is the basic lunge. So here from a stance, going down. Now, you've probably seen this before in fitness, just the basic lunge here, going back knee close to the ground here, 90-degree angle, and keep a good posture with the body. That's not wrong, but if you want to tweak it to make it more applicable to your wrestling, you're simply going to modify your posture so that you go down here, chest to lead knee, at a height where you can comfortably touch the ground with either hand on either side of your lead leg. So here going up and down over here, and here, and here. Okay, basic lunge modified for wrestling. Making sure you keep your head up. Okay, so we have a good posture in the lower back. We're looking up, our hips are lower than our shoulder, and our chest is very close to our lead knee. A little bit more advanced variation of this, which is going to be really important to have power in your legs. And wrestling is by far the most physically demanding range of all three between striking and grappling, because it really engages powerful muscles in your body. So it's great for conditioning, and it will get you in great shape if you practice these drills. So the jump side lunges. So basic movement is the same here, but we're going to do it in one motion. So we're going to go down over here and jump. Here, jump, and switch in midair. So both feet move at the same time. Notice my posture in the lower back when I do so. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay? Jump side lunges is another foundational exercise to get your legs nice and strong to be able to do those techniques. The other last prerequisite is to be able to hold the low wrestling stance. So you want to be comfortable in this position here where you can touch the ground with either hand on both sides of your lead leg. And you want to be able to move here, side to side, always here, any leg in front, being able to touch the ground. Here. Always maintaining hips low, shoulders slightly higher than the hips, and head high. So you're always in a good position either moving forward, moving back, legs nice and wide and very low at a position where you can always touch the ground. You want to get comfortable in that position. It's like the fighting stance for striking. You don't want to think about it. You want to just land in the fighting stance. So if you land your punches, you're there. Same thing for wrestling. When it comes to time a person attacks you or you see an opportunity to attack, you want to get to this position quickly. So you want to have the muscle memory and you want to be comfortable in that position so you can move back and move forward. So spend some time on that if you're just beginning. Now, assuming you have those prerequisites under control, and if you don't, make sure you watch this video still till the end because it's good to lay a first foundation and kind of plant the seed of those techniques. Take notes so that we can go to practice later. You'll have those techniques in mind that you can go slowly at first, even if your conditioning is not yet where you want it to be. But if you want to be able to come back to this video easily, click the like button right now and the video will appear in your liked video so you can access it that way. So I recommend coming back to this if you need to work on your fitness. And then after that, we're going to work on the techniques. So the techniques themselves want to be able to fall quickly into a wrestling stance. So from our basic striking fighting stance, we want to be able to drop quickly to a wrestling stance over here. Now, the parameters of the wrestling stance, ideally, same as with striking, remember when we want to attack with a jab, it behooves us to have our legs in line with the target. That way we can push more forward and add power to our jab. So if I'm in a staggered fighting stance like this, I want to switch to a bladed fighting stance here, which is going to give me more power into my jab. Same thing if I want to attack with a side kick, for instance. It's going to be the same thing for a shot or a wrestling attack. I want to create forward momentum. So it's in my best interest to align my feet with the direction I want to go. So if I'm in a staggered stance like this, I want to align my feet like so. This will give me the maximum amount of torque moving forward. The other thing that's important is having good angle with the back leg and obviously a deep level change. So I want to be able to go as low as my body allows me to go. Ideally, I want to bring my chest to my lead knee. That's kind of like the lowest that you can go here. Chest is in contact with the lead knee, but very important here, hips are out, shoulders a little bit higher than the hips, and head is up. That's probably the most important detail. Never look down. You're just basically giving the guillotine and you're exposing yourself to a lot of attacks. And also never have your hips higher than your shoulders because you're in a very poorly athletic position in this position and it's going to be hard to get anything going from there. So you really want to drop your level low, chest to lead knee, good posture, looking up here. And the other common mistake is having this leg too close. So here, this is more of a crouching stance. It's not wrong. There's times when we want to do this. Specifically, let's say for grappling and the person is here and they're on their back and then we're practicing our grip fighting and maybe we want to go for a knee slide, pass a guard or whatnot, then it's in our best interest to be in a crouching stance. But for a wrestling attack, remember what we want is forward momentum. So we want our leg to be nice and wide, but we have this leg that's ready to maximum push on the ground, generate the maximum amount of torque with that push off the ground. If your leg is all bent over here, it's hard to get anything going and really push hard with that leg. Rather, if it's already extended, more than 90 degrees with the knee, and you're going to be in contact with the ground with kind of the side of the ball of the foot and the side of the big toe. That's what I prefer. I'm sure some people would do it like this. It's not wrong. I prefer having this, but explore it for yourself and make sure you feel your back leg is ready to push. Like you feel a good, solid back leg here that's like a spring behind you that can really generate forward momentum. So that's the first part of the technique, is the level change. Also, I recommend being able to do it on both sides. Naturally, you're going to have a leg that's going to be stronger, a side that's stronger to execute your shot. But by doing it on the other side, you're practicing something really important, which is muscle balance. You don't want to have one big leg and one small leg, or having muscle imbalances in your body. So you definitely want to practice it on both sides. And remember, feet are staggered, fighting stance, we drop. We're going to align our feet and widen our stance a little bit. So we call this the split step. Here. That's the first step. Making sure that we go low enough that our lead hand is able to touch the ground. You don't need to touch the ground necessarily. Hand can be here, ready to grab, block, or attack. But you want to be at a height where you can touch the ground. Chest to lead knee, go even lower, and feet are in line. Feet in line, over here. Head high. So just practice that many times when you're starting, split step, and level change. Moving on. Remember what we're trying to do? We're trying to get under the center of mass of the person to pick him up and then eventually get control of the hips to get a takedown. So get them down to the ground to affect their base on the ground and their center of mass. So what I want to be able to do that is we want to create forward momentum. So by doing that initial step here, we're going to bounce off that back leg here, and that creates a forward momentum. I'm still leaning forward, so I've bounced off this back leg, and the next step, as I'm super low, is going to bring this knee to the ground here, softly. It's a step on the knee. It's not a fall on the knee. Okay, common mistake is to go from here, and if you don't go down first and then forward, you can go down on the knee, and that's going to be bad for you in many ways, more tactically and also physically. So if you go down like this, you're smashing your knee on the ground, you can hurt yourself, especially if you're on a hard surface, and also you're killing your momentum, because now you're planting your knee on the ground, and you have very little force moving forward. So you want to go down first, and then forward, and step the knee on the way up. Okay, very important. Now, you also want to be able to do it without putting the knee on the ground. Sometimes you're on a hard surface, you still want to take somebody down. It doesn't make sense to put your knee on the ground if you're on asphalt or something like that. And even if you're on the mats, sometimes you just want to go faster and you don't want to put your knee on the mat. Okay? Or you don't need to go as low, for instance. So you want to be able to go here, and then maybe the knee comes close to the ground, but it doesn't touch, and then you go right back here, foot on the other side, and you wind up in a squat position. Like we practiced at the beginning, you bring the hips under, and the most classic follow-up here is going to be cutting the corner for a double leg takedown. So we're imagining we're controlling the legs, and we're cutting a 90-degree angle to the side. Now there are many other follow-ups possible, but that's the basic one that we should practice regularly. I would say is the most common, high percentage takedown out of all the possible takedowns. But there are many that we have explored before and we will explore again. So here, fighting stance, split step, level change, forward momentum, knee to the ground without impact, stepping on the knee, not falling on the knee, stepping ahead over here, so I can go this way, so I'm now have base to push this way, head is high, looking where I want to go. Remember, never head down, always strong neck, and you're actually going to have your head on the side of the body of the person, so you're using your head as an extra appendage that allows you to control the person's center of mass. From there, you just step to your squat stance over here and cut the corner on the side. Very important to be able to do it on both sides as well. So again, fighting stance, level change, split step, penetration step, here, step to a squat stance, getting the hips under, and I'm cutting the corner over here. Let's see it from the other side, like so. Here, setups can be multiple. We're not going to focus on that too much for the purpose of this video, but you could do a jab and go into your level change. You can play your head movements here, and when the person initiates a striking combination, boom, level change. So that's more on tactical consideration. But if you're just beginning, or as a solo drill, you really want to drill that movement to drain powerful forward force at a moment's notice. So here, split step, here, forward, step, step, and cutting the corner. Now let's see it a little bit faster so you can see what it looks like. Here we're moving, a little bit of movement and fighting stance, split step, boom. So what you're doing here is you're bouncing off the back leg. So I go down and here, this gives me an initial push. You can practice that as a drill as well. So going down and just taking one step forward, just boom, here, bouncing off that back leg, boom. So without doing anything else, just repeat that aspect. Here, boom, and then drop step with the knee, or drop step, or lunge step, or the knee doesn't quite touch the ground, but you follow up to your squat position. Now, the other part of this technique that's really important that we mentioned earlier is what to do when that doesn't work, which happens quite often if you attempt wrestling attacks. So the most common defense is going to be the sprawl, which we're going to look at in another video in detail. But essentially when you go in, the person knows what they're supposed to do, and they get their defense before you can land your offense, they might sprawl on you here. So in that case, you can do one of two things. If you catch this early, you can, instead of keep on attacking here, you can go up here. So that's kind of the duck under. So instead of going all the way here, we're gonna go up, the head looks up, and then we're just gonna go behind the person. So that's a good drill for you as well. You go down, but then you go right up, and you go behind the person. So instead of going more forward and imagine you're picking them up, you're kind of going around them. Here, and just going up. Here, like so. The other thing that you need to be able to do is do the same thing from the knees. to go for a reverse double. So for this, we're going to do the technique that we call the knee spin, which is a very important follow-up to the basic shot. So this is how it plays out. We go down here, we do our level change, split step, penetration step here. Now, maybe we go here and then we just catch one leg, but then we want to go behind the person. So how do we do that? We're going to go from this knee, we step here, and then this knee is going to go down to the ground. This knee is going to come up, and we're going to spin kind of like a spinning heel kick. So now we have the person from behind, and from there we can go for a reverse double, shoulder pressure, and we're going to explore that in more detail, but that's just the movement. So that's the basic movement. We're here on the knee, we step ahead, knee down, knee up, spin, knee spin. Here, here, here. You can drill that as a basic move. Live toes, ideally, so you're always ready to push off the ground with either leg. Here, knee spin. Don't forget to breathe as well. That's an important basic mistake. Some people, when they do any technique, but specifically the shot, they're gonna not breathe. Okay, so make sure that you're breathing out when you initiate the technique. Here, helps you relax and do the technique better. The other foundational exercise that's conducive to the knee spin, if that's a challenge for you, is the knee walk. So here, being able to go from knee to foot, to knee, to foot, to knee, get to the end, you can go around here, just a basic spin, knee to foot to knee, around, so knee walk, foot to knee, foot to knee, foot to knee, nice and smooth. Okay, that's some basic drill that you should do to be comfortable walking from your feet to your knees when you are on a soft surface. Moving on, connecting it all together. So going from the shot to the knee spin a little bit faster. So we're going to go here, level change, penetration step, and immediately knee spin. Okay? Very nice follow-up to practice your agility in the wrestling offense. Here, here. Again, on the side. Here. You can also sometimes use your hands on the ground. Makes it a little bit easier. And also it's in your best interest if you really want to go low. Sometimes you can use your hand as base here and use it to maneuver yourself to get behind the person. Again, hands or not on the ground, and ideally always live toes, so you're ready to push off the ground. The last basic movement that you need to be able to do following a failed shot is going to be the peek out, also known as the sit out. So this is when the person really sprawls on you and you wind up in bottom turtle. If you catch it quick enough, you can still get out of it. You can also use that even if you are in turtle in a more stable position and use it eventually to get out. So here, you go in, boom. Person sprawls on you. So now you wind up in bottom turtle and you're kind of stuck there. You don't want to let him go behind you in this position, so you will be in an open turtle position, trying to prevent the go behind. If they try to go behind you, don't let that happen. Now, what that might happen is they might have your head wrapped around over here, in which case you want to grab the elbow on one side, on the side where the arm is, and let's say their body is here and their arm is here. So it's in their interest to close that elbow, but if it's open here, or you can open it up, step over here. You might be on your hand, you might be on your elbow, whatever you got, you're going to work with that. You're going to open the elbow and now slide this leg in between this leg and this hand, like so. Opening up the elbow and making a strong neck, looking at the ceiling. From there, you're practically behind the person. Their head is here and their feet are here. So you want to get control of the hips, keeping the head on top so you control them, and getting behind over here so you can control the hips. Maybe you get a back body lock, maybe you stand behind them, any which way. We're going to explore that more in detail in the turtle position. So here, again, peek out following a failed shot. So here, I go in, boom, blocked. Control the elbow, post out the leg on the same side. Maybe I'm on the hand, maybe on the elbow. You have to be able to do both. Open it up, slide the hip on the ground, look up hard, and then bring this leg over to the other side, get control of the hip, get behind the person like so. So imagine the person is on the ground as well, and you got on top in this case. Once again, a bit faster, and you want to drill that for reps to be able to do it fast as well. Here, for a failed shot, and then it could be either side, right? You don't know where the head is or the front headlock is. You want to be able to go on either side from a shot from either leg. Okay, so you explore all possibilities, and you're ready for any eventuality. Here, like so. So that's it, guys. Quick recap. If you're still working on your fitness, work on that first. You want to be able to do a basic squat. You want to be able to do the basic lunges, modified for wrestling, so leaning forward, so you wind up in a wrestling stance. You want to be comfortable in a wrestling stance, fighting stance, wrestling stance, and moving around at a height where you can comfortably touch the ground. Level change is going from fighting stance to wrestling stance over here. We want to do a split step, so aligning our feet in the direction we want to go. Penetration step, lead knee to the ground over here softly. Step, step, to wind up in the squat position to follow up. And possible follow-ups as well. So we have the knee spin, go around over here. We have the duck under, so when you go in here, but we choose to go up instead and go behind him. And then we have the peek out when we get stuck in bottom turtle. We're gonna control the elbow, slide the hip, look up, and get behind the person like so. Now, another thing that's important for wrestling as a consideration, especially when you get ready to practice that with a partner. So we mentioned leg conditioning, back conditioning is going to come with that, but also neck conditioning is important because your neck needs to be strong to be able to move your partner left and right, forward and back. So you want to be able to have a strong neck. Now you can use machines for that. There's different devices you can use as well. But one drill that I particularly like to make your neck stronger is just to use your own hands. So you can push in any direction. Push forward, push sideways, push backwards here, and push sideways like this with a no, offering resistance with your own arms. So it takes a little bit more of coordination, but you can practice all angles and you don't need any equipment. So this can be a good drill to practice your neck conditioning at your own stage where you are in terms of your neck strength, because you only apply as much pressure with your hands as you can actually move with your neck. So that's a good drill for you guys to practice. Next, further consideration, you definitely want to be able to do strong wrestling defense as well. So be sure to check out our basic how to sprawl video as well as how to fall with many different variations. So you know how to manage that transition to the ground for wrestling defense and ideally pop right back up to your feet as quickly as possible. And you definitely want to have strong striking and grappling skills as well. So be sure to check out those videos on our channel if you have not already. So once again, thank you very much for watching. If you are new to this channel and you're interested in developing your skills as a complete, effective martial artist, so you have a strong skill set in striking, grappling, and wrestling, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you have not already. We're really striving to provide you with all the information you need to know to help you progress faster. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for being here and following our journey. It's really a pleasure to be able to share this information with you. And I truly hope that you apply it and that you practice well, and that you really put in the effort to apply all this knowledge to move forward in your martial arts training. We want to see you become as good as you can be. So with this being said, signing off, Patrick Phillip here at Effective Martial Arts HQ in Pointe Claire, West Island of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Thank you very much for watching. Practice well.